Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank our witnesses for being here today and bringing these two bills for our consideration. You know, it's always tough when a parent loses a child, and many of us have been in those bereavement counseling sessions where we meet with a constituent. This happened to me in November of 2015. A gentleman, Chris Odette, who was a veteran of the war in Afghanistan. Very tragic story. He lost his wife to cancer while he was serving. And then in September of 2014, his 14-year-old daughter was crossing a residential street, dropped her phone, went back to pick it up, and was hit by a car speeding through the neighborhood. The individual was in the country illegally. This is not his first brush with the law. Now, speeding offenses and driving without a license perhaps don't rise to the level that we would be considering with these two bills, but the fact of the matter was this individual is not unknown to law enforcement. So he's taken to the police station, given tests for intoxication, come back negative, spends less than a few hours in the city jail and is released. So Mr. Odette comes to me a year later, year and a half later, just absolutely distraught. You know, I went and defended my country. I lost my wife to cancer, and then I lose my daughter on a city street to someone who should not be in the country. And where is the protection that I am supposed to have from the federal government to keep this from happening? Now, as it turns out, the night that the individual who struck Mr. Odette's daughter, the night he was taken down to the police station, they did not notify Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So I performed that function for them, and a year and a half later called ICE and said, what do you think? They, in fact, were very interested. And my understanding is, although that has now been 2 years ago, that the process, the wheels are in motion to get this individual deported from the United States, which I think is the appropriate response. I mean, had I done nothing and another accident happened, that would have compounded the difficulty. I don't know if these two bills will help in that. What I do know is the frustration that we have as members when George Will said it so well back in 2007, the federal government has but two jobs: defend the borders and deliver the mail. And what we did in 2007 was outlawed the incandescent bulb. So defend the borders and deliver the mail. I mean, you had two jobs. This is a tough situation that this family has been through. I would like to be able to report to Mr. Odette at some point that at least because of your courage in stepping forward, another family is not going to have to face the same tragedy as you did. But as it stands right now, we're kind of stuck in the due process limbo. Obviously, I thank Mr. Odette for bringing the case forward to my attention. It was difficult for him to come in and talk about it a year and a half later, but he bravely did so. And since he delivered the information to me, I've kind of made it one of my charges to see if I can't see this through for a conclusion for him. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for allowing me the time to talk about that. I'm happy to listen to Mr. Johnson or Ms. Lofgren if you have any observations, but I do appreciate you being here today.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.